Well, welcome to a mod video. First of all, I just want to show you what my mod folders look like, and then we can go through and discuss everything. And also, we've had a discussion before about how to do your settings for MC Command Center, so I will be going over that as well. So here's what I have done. In the My Electronic Arts folder, I have created my own folder called Movable Mods. I just named it that for no reason. But it was so I knew which mods, like everything goes in this folder. And this folder affects gameplay not at all. There is nothing in the game that is in here. So I have my setup right now for when I am playing my historic or my decades gameplay. So down here, this is my regular Sims 4, just the same as like what yours looks like. And the only thing I change is I change what my mods look like. So I'll open that one. I change MC Command Center and I change my saves. Now here's what I've done for my saves. These are all my save games. And you can see that I only have one save game in saves because these file folders are not being read by the game. So the game does not recognize that there are things inside these folders. It only cares about the slots that are out here outside of it. So this, it says 008. And so up here, I have 008 on my decades challenge. And so when I'm finished for the day or the session of filming, I just take this and move it back where it goes. And that's it. So if I loaded up my game right now, there would be no save files in there. So when I'm getting ready to play, let's say the legacy game, I click on legacy over here. I drag all of these back into the saves folder. And so now that's where they belong. So that is how I switch between all my different saves. It does not matter. Nothing changes as far as gameplay goes if I just left all of these saves in there. I just like doing it so that when I load up the game, I have one save file, and that is the save file that I am currently playing. And the rest of them don't need to be in there, just cluttering up my space. So I changed that first, the save file. Right now, the 100 Baby Challenge save is open. That's all I do for saves. Then under MC Command Center, you can see that I have two folders. One is called Historical Settings, which right now is empty, and the other one is called Modern Play. So this is what your MC Command Center looks like if you downloaded both packages. And the only thing that I care about is this settings right here. So the settings that I have in there are exactly how I want them to be for historical play. So when I'm not doing historical play, I move them back. I go in my modern play folder and I take those settings and I put them in MC Command Center. So now I have settings and they're the ones for my modern play. So then I close MC Command Center. I do have a folder called Shared Mods. Well, we'll talk about that in a second when we get to all the mods. So this is what my mod folder looks like. Now, the way the mods work, your game will read one extra level past mod, okay? So what that means is this folder, any folder that you create right here, I'll show you. We're going to name this folder Will Read. And so anything in this folder, your game will read. However, if you have another layer of folders, your game will not read it. So if you're looking at your mods like this, which is why in the MC Command Center, I can put my settings right here because the game will not read those. So I have a few different mod folders, and depending on what game I'm playing, they move in and out of this movable mod group. So I have labeled them 1 through 5. Let me put them all in the same thing. I'm just going to put them all up here in movable mods so we can look at them. I keep these in here constantly. Let me delete this Will Read. I was just trying to explain to you. Oh, I can't because I've opened it. It's fine. I'll delete it later. But so what I leave in here all the time, this is the Sims resource library, which if you have the Sims resource, it's just a way to easily add some CC items to your gameplay. So I leave that in there, and I leave the MC Command Center in here all the time because literally all I do is switch the settings. So those don't leave my mod folder. Now up here in the movable mods, these are all the mods. So I'm going to go through the ones Shared mods I use in all games, whether it's historical or modern or whatever. And most of these, as you can see, pants, top, dress, hair, jeans, hair. So it's clothing. And it's clothing that I don't care if I have to look at it in both games, because it's okay if it's in there. So all of these are clothing or hairs. I do have, other than hair and clothing, I do have a recolor for the chicken coop that's in here, because again, it doesn't matter where that happens either. I also have don't wash dishes. This one I will go over for you in just a second and give you the link to that. All it does is make sure that you, here's what it's actually called: don't wash dishes where you angry poop. So all it means is you can tell them not to wash dishes in the bathroom, and they won't carry their plates into the bathroom, since that's what Sims randomly do sometimes. Okay, another thing I have in here is the dollhouse, all the different kinds of dollhouses that have been done by, I think this is Ravishing, RVSN. I'll make sure that I set this below, because there's also the Modern Family Photo and the Photographic Memory photo mod. And those, I don't use them. I downloaded them and I used them for one of my gameplays, but I don't normally use them. So they're in here if I want to, but I don't normally use them. This is also where I keep my Better Exceptions mod. That's another one that I'll go over in more detail in just a second. This is where I have the UI cheats package is in here, and the XML injector. Now, I have no idea what this injector thing is. I just know that there's a lot of mods or a lot of CC that I want to download, and it says you need the XML injector. So I got it and I put it in here, but I don't know what it does. So I can't give you any information on that. And that's it. Everything else is just clothing and hair. Then I have a decade specific, a history specific, a 100 Babies High School Legacy Challenge specific, which is pretty much means anything modern is in this one. And then I have a decades and history shared. And what I actually end up doing is I do all three of these. So I use decades, history, and the one that they share, and that's what I move all down to mods when I'm about to play one of those. So let's look what's in here. In the Decades Challenge, this is our water meal, so the functional water meal that we have in our yard. And then this is just toilets and coffee tables and stove packets, anything that says medieval. This is medieval bathroom, kitchen, nursery items. And all I did was I just did a Google search, and I said The Sims 4 medieval CC or medieval mods, and you find so many things. You could be there for a long time. From Little Miss Sam, she probably needs like her own she probably needs her own section. But I have the more woodworking package, which literally just offers you more things to make when you're doing woodworking. I also have the functional broom, which takes the vacuum cleaner and just makes all that be a broom, so that you can use it in your medieval or historic play. And I have this one, Children and Toddlers Die of Anything, but it is clearly messed up. So I'll show you what I do when I figure out what's wrong, when I figure out where something is broken. Okay, these are extra careers. We've got horse care, blacksmith, knight, midwife, a page, and a priest. I thought I was going to use these when I first started, and I haven't so far. I might use them in the future. We will see what happens. Anyway, here's a creator called Seriously Medieval, and so there's just some books and a side table and a bard outfit and a priest outfit and all kinds of stuff. Then we've got just a bunch of different. There's a brown sheep and a Highland cow, a medieval cart. There's a whole bunch of carts. These are just things that you can buy in the game. Swords. And then this is the rustic well and the stuff that goes with that. I did get a radiator heater, which I've never bought because we're not there yet, but I will be able to use that in some of our stuff. Then there's quite a few of these. I have a child sim can repair. A child can clean bathrooms, kids can paint, kids clean counters, and kids use the wash tub. So those are not normal things that kids can do in The Sims. However, a lot of kids do these, like, I mean, or they certainly would have in historic play. So I have those in there. I do not have those in my modern play because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that kids wouldn't do. Like, I wouldn't send my kid to try to repair the toilet or whatever. But in the 1300s, when the toilet was just like a bucket and a board, I probably would have sent my kid out there with a hammer and some nails to fix the board. So then we have, these are just the knitting and the cross stitch, just made to look like they're in a chest, like an older chest. And that's it. That's all I have in the Decades Challenge. So again, there's not a lot of clothing stuff in there. It's mostly things that I just feel like we would use. And these are for the History Challenge. Now, there is a mod specifically for the History Challenge, and that's what all of these belong in. So they tell you each one of the generations or the eras that you're playing through has their own things that they release to you. There's things that you, like these career overrides, there's careers that you can't do in certain time periods, and so they have already created it where it releases the things to you that you are allowed to have for each era. Then the rest of these down here are just Stone Age looking things, like the dining chair. There's a Stone Age toilet. This is a woodworking table. If you've seen me play my History Challenge, I have the woodworking table that just looks like a big slab of stone, and that's what this is right here. So that's all the rest of that. The bathtub, there's a stone toy that's literally just looks like a rock. And so that's what I have for History Challenge mods. Then we move into the shared mods for both of them, and it's more clothing and medieval chest. There's some prehistory. There's a shower thing that's supposed to just be rock. That one keeps messing up for me, so I don't really use that anymore. This one right here is, I'll share this one. This is the phone to notebook replacement. So your phone actually turns into a notebook. But we've got some medieval floor and cobblestone and cracked pavement. These are just different wall stones, cobblestone walls that you can put on here. Then there's a lute that you can get instead of, I think it takes the place of like a guitar. They'll play the lute instead. There's the Stone Age toddler bed and water collection sink. There's just a bunch of stuff that all says Stone Age. So I did the same thing here as I went through and just searched The Sims 4 Stone Age CC or Stone Age mods, and I got just a huge list. Like, I just went through here and did hair. There's hair in here. Okay, now this is medieval food safe fridge and shelves. So this is what I use in the historical challenge that they're using as their refrigerator. So it looks like just a bunch of shelves, but it actually works like a refrigerator. We've got more hair, candelabras, floors, a witch broom, it says. I have a tent and a torch and the swinging tree. I don't know. I do have this, which overrides the fishing pole and turns it into a cane pole. It just makes it look like a cane pole. So that's in there. This is where I got the spinning wheel, desk, and chair. It's from Seriously Sims. The spinning wheel chair and the desk and the PC all come together. Here we go. Tripless, quit or join school. This one you can call and quit school. So your kids won't be punished. They just don't go to school. And then they can also join school. Then we've got more things. There's a water pump, more toys to play with, and another desk, and I don't know, just a bunch of stuff that I don't even use very often because we don't own very many things in these challenges, but those are the shared mods for both of those. Then we move into the things that we do for the modern gameplay. And this whole beginning part right here is all career modifications. And what it does, it's called the Career Overhaul Suite, and it changes each one of the careers. It makes them a little bit more difficult. There are certain degrees that are required if you are, depending on what job you're in order to get a promotion, you might need a degree, a certain degree. And so it just makes jobs a little bit harder because they're like actual jobs now. It's not easy to get all the way to level 10 really quickly. And I'm leave that in there. Even though I am playing a legacy challenge where I need to max out every career, I have left it in there. And I'm going to make my kids have to go to college and get a degree for certain jobs if they want those jobs. Now, there is like a little text document cheat sheet kind of thing that you can find online that goes with this that tells you which career needs what degree, or if it even needs a degree at all. They don't all need a degree, but anyway, that's what I have. I also right now have shorter university in here. You can choose what you want. If how many credits you want. You have to have 12, I think, right now in game, which takes 3 weeks doing the maximum of 4 classes, I think, per time. And so I just dropped it down to 4 credits right now. I will probably not use that in my legacy challenge. I'll take that out when my kids actually go to school so that that's not cheating because they need to do the regular amount. This pregnancy overhaul literally just takes away the pregnant walk that they do. I don't like it, so it just takes it out. That's all it is. Here's the free throw machine that I keep outside. This whole thing right here from Little Miss Sam. Wait, nope, just this part. Okay, this from Little Miss Sam is how to be, your home can be a foster home. And we are actually foster parents in real life. And so I just thought, why not do that in The Sims too? So I only use it on when I'm not recording. Like I have a house that I don't record in that is a foster home. Otherwise I don't use that one, but I might do one time. Then we have more holiday traditions and add-ons and all of this stuff. You can have random holiday traditions for all kinds. That is what the majority of this whole thing probably is more holiday traditions and icons, just because I love them. I love having the variety. Then Little Miss Sam, still, where all of these are Little Miss Sam, we have faster run to university class, faster run to university, no blind date call, no job offer. So they won't call you to say, oh, you're super popular. Would you like this job? No. The kids will not play outside if it's rain or heavy snow. So the kids will stay inside. Also, no present opening cooldown. That means they can open a present and then immediately open another present. There is a school holiday. That is literally a thing you can give for your regular holidays where the kids don't have school. So sometimes you want your adults to still go to work, but you might not want your kids to go to school. And that's what this does, is keep the kids from going to school while the parents still go to work. And then we have some ATM things, which I've never used them at all, but they're in here. And this is the pregnancy overhaul. Now I have turned this off right now in the game because I'm only playing the 100 baby challenge and the legacy challenge, and I don't want this with either one of those, but it does have, like, you can get STDs or WTDs, woohoo transmitted diseases, they call them. It just does all kinds of stuff. It's got pregnancy terminations and side effects and loss, and it's got preferences and impacts that you can pick, paternity testing, there's adoption and separation, and there's all kinds of stuff in this whole pregnancy overhaul pack right here. Then I changed up the wants. Our want system, and this probably is one of the ones that definitely needs to be updated, but these are all personality mod changes. And so this goes through every pack and every update that we have had, and it gives custom wants for those packs. So if you don't have a pack, there's no reason to put it in here. I couldn't figure out at first why they kept wanting to do something that I didn't even own, and it was because I had a pack in here that I didn't have. So once I fixed that, it worked quite nicely. Also, the personality mod is made by the same Missy Hissy, and it is fantastic. It does the same kind of things where it just gives your characters like more personality. Then I got the SimCity loans, although I have never actually used one. I've never gotten a loan, but I have it here. Then we've got the trampoline and the rock-a-stack stuff, the basketball hoop and the swing, just different stuff for toddlers' rooms that they can play with. Then down here, we've got custom whims, also from Missy Hissy. the same one that did all of these custom wants. There's a custom whims script down here. All right, and then there is Sims National Bank, and you do not need all of these. This one is the financial center. This one is if you want to do the bills. This one is just the bank. This one is the mortem, which has to do with when Sims die. So when they die, you can call the funeral home or you call the coroner, and they come over and get the body, and they tell you when you can do the funeral, and then you go and do the funeral. So I'm definitely going to be using that in my legacy challenge as my legacies age up and die. Then again, all of these traits, this is trait overhaul, y'all, and whim overhaul. This took me so long to go through and open every one of these zipped packages and put them in here. It took a really long time and a lot of downloading. But now I have a lot more wants and a lot more whims that my Sims want to do. This is all just kids' room decor. This was all in one big package, I think, that I just downloaded the whole thing. And it's got all kinds of stuff for kids. And then finally, we've got a drum kit and a soccer football goal. It says soccer football. They're just trying to cover all their bases by calling it that. And that's it. Then a little swing. And that is everything in this folder as well. So let me know any of those that you don't understand or you want more about it. I do have a folder here that says poses, just in case y'all want to see this. I hate the poses. If somebody can explain to me how you keep up with them, because like you can see right here, I downloaded quite a few. It's not much. It's just this to this. So just a little bit more than one page. But I downloaded all of these because I thought it would be really cool to do this. But then when I go in and try to take the pictures of them, then they're not listed. Like this one right, let me just show you. This one right here is called Can't Get Enough, or no, this one right here, okay, is called Legacy Pose Pack. Well, I don't know what those look like. This one says wedding poses, so I know that's clearly for a wedding. And this one says family poses, but I don't know how many people I can get in there. This one's got male sparkle and female sparkle. That's all that says. I don't even know what that means. So anyway, I'm having a hard time. I did do what I was supposed to do. In order to be able to use any poses, you've got to get the Teleport Any Sim, and you've got to get Andrew's Pose Player. So both of those I got. And I never put them in my game. They're here in movable mods and they just stay here all the time because I'm not using them. Now I have a folder called New Modern Mods, which is empty, and New Shared Mods, which is empty. And what I use those for is when I download new mods or new CC, they go in this folder first. And that way, if something is broken or doesn't work, I can easily go in one of those folders to find what the problem is instead of just throwing them into one of these folders and then being stuck having to go through the whole thing when I don't know what is broken. Okay, so I wanted to show you, I literally just typed in the Sims 4 CC and then typed in the mods that I wanted to check the most. And so this is Don't Wash Dishes Where You Angry Poop, and this is literally what it looks like. Almost all of these was the top thing that came up when I searched. So this one says updated 26 July 2020. So if I go over here in my shared mods, Don't Wash Dishes, I downloaded this on July 26th. Therefore, I downloaded the last update, and so it's up to date. I don't need to update it. Then I have the Modern Family Portrait that I was talking about. So you buy the frame from when you're shopping, like normally in The Sims, when you're shopping in buy mode, you buy a frame and put it up there. Then you can click on it and it'll tell you what things you can do for different types of family portraits. Clearly there's a video here that tells you about it and how you use it. It's literally, as you can see in this thumbnail, the picture that it puts up there is the picture that would show up when you like this, your family picture when you're in Create a Sim. That's what would pull up, and that's what comes up in the thing on your wall. That's what shows up in the picture. And there are ways to lock it in place, and there are ways to let it change as your family changes. So, Okay, so this first link sent me to Twisted. This is for Better Exceptions. And the first link sent me here to Twisted Mexie's Patreon thing. But right at the top, it says the files are removed as this version is old. Always find the latest versions at twistedmexie.com. So I just followed this, and then I go down. Here's Better Exceptions right here. So I'm going to click on it. Okay, so if I hit download, it actually brings me here. It doesn't automatically download it. And it tells me version 3.03 is now available. And this was written on September the 29th. Okay, I forgot when I got over here to Better Exceptions, though, and I was reading a little bit more about it, I forgot that Better Exceptions is one of the only ones that I have that when you load the game in, it says there's been an update to Better Exceptions. Would you like to update it? And that is fantastic. I love that option because I just say yes, and then I don't have to go in. I don't have to take out the package and move the package over to wherever it's supposed to be. I don't have to do any of that stuff, and it is fantastic. By the way, Twisted Mexie's website has some of the best mods. Like, it really does. Especially this always full edit mode in CAS, which I do have on. I don't know why I didn't see it when I was looking at it. I love this being on because then you can always edit anytime you want to in there. I think that it is especially useful if you have Sims that are aging up in your house. There's no other way to do sexual orientation or any of that stuff without going into full edit mode, which you can't do when you just go into create a sim from their house. So I love having that full edit mode. And also sometimes we know that the Sims genetics doesn't always work the way it should. So it's just much better to do this. This Better Build By is also one that I love and have in my thing. I don't know why I didn't see that one either, but that one, Better Exceptions. I didn't even explain what it was. It scans your game and tells you, it reports things, including gameplay exceptions, UI issues, and CAS glitching. So it just tells you where your issues are. If something is glitching in your game, it tells you where it is. So it scans your game for you and tells you what the problem is, which is fantastic. I do not use the always move object zone just because, like, do you see what she looks like right here? She's like trapped inside there. I would have things sitting on top of other things and there wouldn't be any way that my Sims could get anywhere or do anything. So I do not have this one on. But this right here, this always free build is awesome because you can build anywhere in the world, I think, with this on. I've never used it, but I have seen people use it, and I think it looks awesome. Also, if you want to play all the scenarios, including the ones that have been pre-released and are not on there anymore, then you can use this one. Anyway, I just recommend Twisted Mexie going down and looking at all of the different mods that are in here because some of them are just, you're like, why would I have not thought about doing this, or how does this helps me a whole lot. Like, there's just so many things that you don't think about using. And this tool mod, if you're a builder or a decorator, I don't know how you do it without tool mod, because like everybody I ever see who does buildings and decorating, they have to use the tool mod. So I don't use it because I rarely do any of that stuff, but this is awesome. Okay, then we have what might be the most life-saving mod other than MC Command Center is the UI Cheats extension. And if you have not seen a video about this or you don't know what this is, I will link something below that probably goes into more depth than I'm going to. But the UI Cheats, it's anything that has to do with your Sims. Like, you can increase just their bladder if you want to. You can also decrease their bladder if you want to. You can change the time in the game. You right click on the time and it says, okay, set the time however you want it to be. Like, you have free control and free reign over so many of the things in here. and it looks like my version is the older version. So anytime you need to do one of these on Patreon, here's how they almost always do it, is they have the information up here and they build on it. So as you can see, this version right here was 1.3, and this is the new one, then the new one, then the new one. So the newest one is always up here at the top. And so the download, though, is all the way down here at the bottom. And it's usually just a little zip file or a package file or something that's down here at the bottom. Then you can also see comments that anybody has made. You will not be able to make a comment unless you become a patron of whoever it is. But there are a lot of these Patreon accounts that have a ton of free stuff that you could get without being a Patreon member. Also, this apparently just on this page breaks down a ton of stuff. So it says in the needs panel, you can set the value to wherever you click. You can, in the Simology panel, you can do all these things. You can click on a university degree and it'll give it to you. So there are just so many different things that you can do with this mod. Right? Click on a sim to set friendship and romance levels from -100 to 100. I haven't done any of those because I usually use MC Command Center if I need to change any of that. I've also never used the skill thing, but you can pick a level on the skill bar. Oh, right click on a job icon to promote, demote, change career branch, or select a level of the current branch. So there you go. You can change your university course grades. If you want to be a hacker. No, I'm just kidding. Right click on an aspiration goal to fulfill it. That's it. So yeah, wow. There's a lot more things than what I knew was happening, but a ton of stuff. So I've downloaded the new version. What I'll do is go in the folder where I have it right here, and I will take it out, this version, and I will install the new version, and that's all you do. And then we're on Little Miss Sam's. Guys, y'all just need to go check out Little Miss Sam's in general. Anytime you want any mods for The Sims, there are about 3, Twisted Mexi, Little Miss Sam's, and maybe Ravashin that I would say immediately go to. So the last one I need to update is children and toddlers can die of anything. And then maybe now in our gameplay, where we are in our history, in our decades challenge, I will be able to kill the children and the toddlers. I know that sounds awful, but now the app will work, or the mod will work correctly. So that is it. If there are any other questions that you guys have about how any of my mods work or how I use any of my mods or anything like that, I would love to hear about it. And I will just see you in the next video. Bye.